Hey there, everybody. We are back with another episode, and we are talking 2018 free agency,
More,
NFL.
more importantly, we are live.
We are live.
We had a fight with Josh to go live. He's like, "Hey guys, you want to go live?" We're like, "Yeah, absolutely." He's like, "All right, we're just gonna record it." And then we complained, made fun of his heating situation here. As you can tell, we're all hooded up, but we are live on the YouTube.
And we also have a GoFundMe page to pay Josh's heating bill. Find it on Josh's heating bill. That's the GoFundMe page.
Heating bill is just fine. So,
Too many rings, Josh.
GoFundMe.com/pay my gas bill.
before we get to the show, Tim, why don't you tell everybody about Jersey here?
We are giving away, obviously, here a signed Le'Veon Bell jersey.
It's real.
We have a certificate of authenticity. It's pretty simple. You go on Facebook.com. You just type in a little search, Pony Keg Sports. You'll see us there. All of our great shows, all of our great listeners, fans, everything. And pinned at the top of that page is this jersey with a little post. And all you have to do is like the Pony Keg Sports page and share the pinned post. That's it. It's that simple. After you do that, we put your name in a little hopper. The week of the Super Bowl, that Tuesday, we will be on Facebook Live at 7 p.m. Central Time. That is 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Giving the jersey away. I don't know if we'll do it at the end of the show, beginning of the show. Who knows? But the winner, we can ship it to you. We can have you here as a guest. You can come here buck naked. Josh will dress you up. It's his favorite thing to do.
I don't know why you say that.
He normally does it with dolls, but if you're here and you're a live person, he'll set you up. It's really, really weird. I normally have to bring my daughter's Barbie dolls buck naked. Josh likes dressing them up in little outfits that he actually hand stitches.
I don't know why that's.
We are off to a great start. I'm just glad we're live.
Yeah. Yeah, super glad. Moving on, let's talk the 2018 offensive free agency. So we're first going to start off with quarterbacks. Number one on the board here, we have Drew Brees. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. He's 38 years old. What are you guys thinking for Drew Brees here?
Drew Brees, he's got some zip left in his arm. He can still play the game of football, and the Saints are going to need him. They will re-sign him, in my eyes. It'll probably be a 2 or 3 year deal, probably close to 25, 26 million. I believe their market value was at 27, Tim?
Yeah.
25. The Spot Rack's estimated value. So I think it'll be somewhere around there. I don't think he's going to try to kill the Saints' cap space and probably take a team-friendly deal similar to what Mr. Thomas Brady does for the Patriots.
And as Tom alluded to, we are on spotrac.com, spotrac.com. One of the things there goes over all the different potential free agents. Listen, it's very interesting. Drew Brees isn't going to have really a choice, I don't think, other than to take a 2-year team-friendly deal. They're going to obviously pay the man. It'll be around $25 million. But if he doesn't want to, then they're just going to franchise tag him for somewhere closer on that number anyway, and then there's no security of it being for 2 years. So I think it's a no-brainer. I do not see Drew Brees going anywhere in any type of situation. He's got a great opportunity. If he wins the Super Bowl and his arm is the reason, if they're able to get past Minnesota, it's on his arm just like last week was on his arm. He'll have more of a fight to maybe bump it up a little bit higher, but I think it's a no-brainer. Tom hit the nail on the head. I see it being a 2-year deal around that $50 million mark.
Another quarterback on the list here, one Kirk Cousins, who has been tagged twice already with the possibility of being tagged again. Very unlikely with the high number that would bring in dollar-wise. What are you guys thinking? He's 29 years old.
He's 29 years old, but he's still in the prime of his career for a quarterback. He's still got a good 6 to 10 years possibly to play in the NFL. But it's going to be tough to get a deal done with Washington. They don't really have the greatest relationship right now. I know Gruden has come out saying that he wants to get the deal done. But I have a feeling the Redskins are not going to offer what his market value is right now. I think Denver's going to swoop in. That is my prediction. Elway has done it in the past, getting that veteran quarterback. and they have a good enough defense right now to still contend for a Super Bowl. My prediction will be similar to that Drew Brees money, somewhere around $25 million. Could be a 4 to 5 year deal, and then to Denver. That's what I'm saying.
I see them going. I see them going somewhere else. In all honesty, I see them potentially going to the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals have close to $28 million in cap room right now, and they can obviously move some things around. He sees it as with a decent defense there already built in. You still have David Johnson coming in off of injury, and he's going to make the wide receivers that he has there aren't going to be much worse than what he was dealing with in Washington this past season. You put him there, you draft at the wide receiver position, it sets them up to contend for that NFC West next year with the Los Angeles Rams.
Another quarterback on the board here. There's actually going to be 3 of them. We have Sam Bradford, Case Keenum, and Teddy Bridgewater. All 3 of them are going to be free agents. All 3 of them currently on the Minnesota Vikings. What happens with each of them?
I really have no idea, in all honesty. If Case Keenum can lead the Vikings to the Super Bowl, or maybe even the NFC Championship game, he's got a chance to be re-signed. Because you got to look what he has done this year. He's pretty much been a journeyman quarterback, a backup quarterback his whole career. Got chances to start last year with the LA Rams and failed. He struggled, was not able to move the football. But him and Pat Shurmur have done a great job together this year. Shurmur has gotten the best out of Mr. Case Keenum. So, Tim, you brought up Kirk Cousins going to Arizona. If Shurmur lands at Arizona, gets the head coaching job, I could see Keenum following him and continuing his career renaissance, as you could say.
I have it playing out this way. I have Case Keenum being tagged by the Minnesota Vikings if they're unable to reach a deal. I have Teddy Bridgewater going somewhere on a backup deal, if you would. And I have one Sam Bradford becoming the starting quarterback for your Miami Dolphins. I think that the Miami Dolphins are going to try to draft a quarterback, and they're going to need someone in the interim. They have a veteran in Sam Bradford. You bring him in. You're going to be able to get him for less than what you would have to pay Jay Cutler to come back and be atrocious again. And I just feel like it would be a fit. Adam Gase could see him being a guy that he can trust, someone who can still get the ball downfield. And just going back last year, someone who was very, very effective for the Minnesota Vikings. So I think there's some potential there.
Jay Cutler, like you just said, he is 34 years old. Do you think he stays? Do you think he goes? Is he going to be retired? I think he'll be done.
He should be done. I don't think he has the drive to play. He pretty much robbed the Miami Dolphins this year, stole their money. His wife made him play this year. He had no interest.
I can't wait to see if there's any interest in him whatsoever, because if any team pays him money, I am going to torch that team. I don't know if there's not a team in that bad of shape in the NFL right now to bring him in for what he's going to cost with what he brings to a team. He's a poor attitude. He's selfish. He's got a big arm, but he doesn't know how to use it. Very similar to what he's been essentially his whole career. I just don't see what a Jay Cutler would bring to a team. He will go to the booth finally next year. He will be funny, and people are going to start loving Jay Cutler.
Will Tannehill be the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins next year?
I think so. They're not going to be able to cut him, and he's still making a good chunk of change. Still has a bunch of guaranteed money.
No, they can opt out.
I don't think they can.
I'm 99% sure that they can opt out of that contract. I'll verify that. Josh, why don't you move on to the next one?
Josh McCown is next. He is 38 years old. He's old as dirt. And I think that the Jets will bring him back on a 2-year deal. One, I think, will be a option year. I think you have to bring him back for at least a year. The other year would be an option year. To be honest, I could see Josh McCown become a quarterback's coach after next year when it's all said and done.
He was saying he wants to stay in Tampa. That's what he was saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was saying that he wants to go on and just stay. He likes it there. He likes the organization. And if you're Tampa, why not? In all honesty, he's obviously very team friendly. He's a great locker room guy. He has a lot of knowledge. I just don't see why they wouldn't do it. Real quick to address the Miami Dolphins can opt out of the Ryan Tannehill, and I don't feel like he's going to be the quarterback of the Dolphins because if they don't opt out now, then they still owe him 3 years with a lot of money, with close to $40 million left on that deal if they don't opt out now.
I said that much.
Yeah, they'll definitely take the penalty now and move on, in my opinion.
Yeah, it'd be close to $7 million in dead cap. So it's not terrible.
I'm reading 4.5.
And then the next year.
Yeah, I don't know if with that opt out if they have to pay it all.
Yep.
They do. Okay, so still $7 million is still much nicer than the 40, and being locked in with a guy who's never kind of evolved into the quarterback he thought he would be.
Ryan Fitzpatrick will be a free agent. He's 35 years old right now. He plays for Tampa Bay currently. Do you think he will be staying, or do you think he is gone?
He's just saying Tampa. When Jameis went down this year when he had the AC sprain of his shoulder, Fitzpatrick came in and played pretty good. He was all right. Wasn't anything special, but that's what he is. German quarterback's got a great beard and extremely smart individual. He'll stay there, collect a paycheck, and live a great life. Retirement.
Yeah, that's where if Josh McCown doesn't go down to Tampa, Fitzpatrick could stay there and, like you said, grow his glorious beard and just I guess collect a paycheck playing behind Jameis Winston.
One big last name, Jimmy Garoppolo for the San Francisco 49ers.
He'll probably get tagged. That's what I think's going to happen.
Honestly, I don't. I think he's going to see. I honestly don't think that there's any way his value could be higher than it is right now. You're first. You were traded after being valued as one of the best quarterbacks out there. You then go out there. You go 5-0 with a team that was winless prior. You look.
They had one win.
Oh, I apologize. They had one win. He goes out there. He shows how great he is. I don't know if he can take that risk. If he then goes out there and then even has an average season for the 49ers, they're going to come back to probably a lesser offer than right now. His value is through the roof. I think he should obviously milk him for as much as he possibly can, but kind of learn from Kirk Cousins here, Jimmy G. Learn, Kirk Cousins. Everyone thought for sure contract year again. Go out there to do it, and it just didn't happen. He's still going to get paid somewhere, but I don't know. I really think Jimmy G should just take it. The 49ers want him. They love him. They're building their organization around you. Go with it.
Moving on to running backs, we have the number one running back on the board for free agents, and that is none other than Le'Veon Bell. He's 25 years old right now. What are you guys thinking he's going to get? Where do you think he's going to get? What he's going to get paid? And is he going to stay in Pittsburgh?
He's worth a lot. He is a running back, and running backs don't get paid that great anymore. It's just a fact. You saw Devonta Freeman got a 5-year, $41 million deal, average $8.2 million per year. Le'Veon Bell's on a different level than him. Le'Veon Bell reportedly was asking somewhere between 14 and 16 mil per year.
Yep.
I just don't think it's going to happen, especially with a running back with the workload that he has had over the past few years, especially if the Steelers go on a little run in the playoffs. He's going to probably be averaging 25 to 30 touches per game in the playoffs. That can add close to another 100 touches in the playoffs for him if they go on a little run. I'm expecting the Steelers to retain him for the year. I just don't know if they're going to sign a long-term deal for him right now, though.
Tom, you alluded to it. He said he wanted $14 to $16 million a year when he was holding out to start this season, and he said if he doesn't get it, then when he is a free agent, he's going to be asking upwards of $20 million.
Yeah.
There's no way that they get a deal done here. The Pittsburgh Steelers are on the brink of having to go through a total rebuild. And in my eyes, it's a no. They're going to franchise tag him the very first. They're not even going to bother. Depending on what happens, if they win the Super Bowl, then I'm assuming Big Ben retires. They let Bell walk and they start the rebuild right then, or they do a sign and trade type deal. Potentially for a first round pick. But I don't see how. I just don't see how they come to a deal when it's not even close. Like you said, his self-worth is ridiculous at this point.
Not a ton of guys in free agency for running back in the
No.
offseason. Another one, big name, I guess, who's been around for a while, one Frank Gore, 34 years old, Indy. He said that he would consider coming back if Andrew Luck would be playing. Right now, that's a big if, Tom. What do you think?
I don't think Frank Gore will be on the Colts next year. I wouldn't mind seeing him there, but they need to get younger at the position. I don't think they used Marlon Mack the correct way, and I think they're going to probably draft a running back as well this year. Irsay has said they need to get younger at the running back spot and said that they are planning on investing early round pick into a running back, so I don't see Gore headed back to Indy. I think he could play, though. He looked good Week 17 game against the Houston Texans. That team was a little banged up, but Gore over 20 rushing attempts, over 100 yards, and got close to 1,000 yards on a season. So,
yeah, he will definitely end up somewhere on a team. I have no doubt about that, unless he obviously decides to retire. But I can't see. There's not a lot of value there. I mean, you might get lucky, Josh, like you alluded to, because there's not really anyone in terms of free agency. Now, counterproductive for him is it's the deepest running back class in a long time.
Yep.
So teams will be more apt to going with one of these young running backs that you're getting in the second, third, fourth round that are going to be just as productive.
Dion Lewis and Rex Burkhead are both going to be free agents, both on the New England Patriots. Dion Lewis, 27, Rex Burkhead, also the same age. Both played very well this year so far, very, very well the whole year for the most part, and both supplanted Mike Gillislee. So what happens here with these two guys? Because the New England Patriots can pick up any single person, and you know who I could really see as another free agent possibly going to New England is like somebody like Jeremy Hill.
yeah.
I saw him. What I'm thinking is Isaiah Crowell.
That's
like
possible,
Isaiah
yeah.
Crowell going there, a team-friendly deal. He just wants to win. He's played on once in the last 2 seasons, underachieved. They're going to be able to get him at value. That's the way I see it. I like the Jeremy Hill as well, though, Josh. But at only 24, him signing with the Patriots would be huge. In terms of Burkhead and who's the other guy? Dion Lewis. You don't really know. Both 27 years old. Both have shown signs of life. Again, they're going to go somewhere, but not any with how. I don't want to beat a dead horse here with how deep this running back class is. It's going to be the spots are going to be filled early. The spots are going to be, and the writing's on the wall in terms of the running back position. You can find these guys. I mean, even look at the Chicago Bears with Tariq Cohen. Look at the Jordan Howard. Look at the New Orleans Saints with Elvin Kamara. Look at all these different guys the Saints alluded to that they wanted Kamara. They were willing to draft Kamara in the first round because they were that high on him, and since there was no interest, they waited. But there's going to be a lot of guys like that. The Sony Michels of the world, the Bryce Love from Stanford. Those are like second round guys, potentially even third round guys. But it'll be very, very interesting to see how it all plays out for these veterans.
Running backs this year, if you're not Le'Veon Bell, if you're not, you can throw Carlos Hyde probably in this mix. They're going to have a hard time finding jobs in free agency. There's not going to be much movement. A lot of these guys might not find work until after the draft. If a team missed on a running back, didn't get the guy that they were looking for, it's going to take a long time for a lot of these guys to find work, though, in my eyes. And they're not going to get paid a lot either.
And that brought me up to the next guy, like you just said, Carlos Hyde, free agent, only 26 years old, I believe, right? You got to imagine he's either going to re-sign with Jimmy Garoppolo there, or he's going to go to a team that is like the Jets, where you're most likely going to draft a quarterback first and not a running back early like that. But is that really ideal for a running back like Carlos Hyde?
If I say I was a fantasy owner of Carlos Hyde myself, I'd want him to stay with the 49ers. We've shown that he's been pretty productive in that system. Jimmy Garoppolo is getting him in the red zone area. It's a good quarterback, but I could see him going to the Browns. They've got over $100 million to spend again. I think the Niners do as well. So if Le'Veon Bell becomes a free agent, I could see the freaking Niners or the Browns throwing a ton of money at him to pair up with their young quarterbacks. I believe the Browns will probably draft one this year, and the Niners already have their guy. So one of those two teams could most likely be the landing spot for Bell if he is a free agent or if he doesn't get tagged again.
Yeah, Carlos Hyde, the situation is very interesting to me. I just don't know why he would go to a team like the Jets or the Browns when you've been there through the thickest stuff with the 49ers. Now
They might not pay him though. They should.
They should. I mean, I have a feeling it has to be close. I mean, he might be a mil or two short of what the max he can get, but you've put the time in now. I guess it just depends on what you're in it for. There's a one hidden gem in all of this that I think is going to be should definitely be talked about, Josh. One, Jerick McKinnon. What he proved in Minnesota this year, listen, I don't think that they can pay him whatsoever. Obviously with Latavius Murray, and then you have Delvin Cook. They're gonna have to let him go. This is a guy who can immediately step in. He showed he can be a very, very valuable asset on a football team. He helped the Minnesota Vikings dramatically, and he was one of Case Keenum's favorite guys. So where Jerick McKinnon goes is going to be a very, very interesting thing for me.
If Josh McDaniels goes to the Colts, I wouldn't be shocked if McKinnon goes there as well. McDaniels likes those smaller running backs. The guys are good at receiving the football. That'd be a good him and Marlon Mack for the Colts would be good for that system.
Moving on to, actually, there's one more running back.
Eddie Lacy?
Eddie Lacy. Yeah, I didn't want to bring him up.
Yeah, please don't.
But I feel like I have to. He's 27 years old. Seems like he's 50. But I think he may end up just going back to the Packers.
To be honest, I hope he ends up in the CFL with Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, I don't see him. Honestly, I don't think he plays in the league next year.
He shouldn't.
I don't think he does. With all the issues, with everyone was so set this year. Yeah, we have everything set up perfectly for him, and he's doing this and he's doing that. He's not there. P90X did not work for you, bro.
Next up, we have the wide receivers, and the number one wide receiver on the board for free agents, Terrell Pryor, 28 years old, former quarterback, Washington Reds. What's you guys thinking here for him?
He needs to find a spot. We saw what he could do in Cleveland. The dude has upside, crazy athlete, can high point the ball, extremely fast. It just did not work out for Washington. He signed the 1-year prove-it deal. He might have to do the same thing this year, and it might be for less money, but he's going to find a job in the NFL.
I can really see him being a perfect fit, and I don't want to just build up my own team here, but for the Chicago Bears.
100%.
You have him. He is a far superior version of Dontrell Inman. Obviously, Inman already has the what's the word I'm looking for here? The relationship with Mitchell Trubisky, but if they sign a top free agent and they bring in a rookie wide receiver in the first or second round and they get Terrell Pryor in there, that's big. That's really big for a young quarterback. Very talented, like you said. Never worked out in Washington. Never got on board with Kirk Cousins. But if they can get a Terrell Pryor at a $3-4 million, something like that, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if I was Chicago Bears, I would take Terrell Pryor, Sammy Watkins, Eric Decker, Taylor Gabriel, anybody.
Kamar Aiken.
It doesn't matter. I'll take whoever. Bears are awful and they need some help. So, just saying.
Here we go.
Sammy Watkins, he's on 4 years old. He's currently on the Rams. I think he stays with the Rams this year.
I could see that. I think he's going to get a 1-year prove-it deal. He has not lived up to the hype as being drafted. I think he was taken 7th overall or something like that from the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
But he's not lived up to that hype. Bobby Woods, his former teammate with the Bills, came over to the Rams and completely outplayed him. Watkins will not be getting a multi-year deal.
Well, and beyond that, you talk about I mean, they have Cooper Kupp there as well, who
Yep.
I believe he broke 1,000 yards receiving.
It was close.
It might have been finished just under, but floated around that number. You have two guys there. Sammy Watkins then is the third guy. Those three guys aren't getting, the big numbers there. So, but at only 24 years old, should get, maybe not even a prove-it deal, but, a 2-year deal with some team, 2 years, $10 million, something like that. I could definitely see that happening.
Marquise Lee for the Jacksonville Jaguars. 26 years old. He may be a casualty due to having D.D. Westbrook, Keelan Cole, maybe AR-15 coming back, but that's a big maybe because AR-15 is a free agent as well. But you look at Marquise Lee, you look at Westbrook, you look at Keelan Cole, they're all around the same body type, same style wide receiver. So it's very difficult to envision the Jacksonville Jaguars keeping all three of those wide receivers.
Yeah, plus I think they only have 17 million cap space. If they're planning on moving on from Bortles, they'll probably sign possibly trade for an Alex Smith or an Eli Manning or someone with a hefty price tag. So they might not have a ton of money to re-sign these guys, and especially Allen Robinson. I feel like he's going to get paid even though he did miss last year. The sky's the limit for that dude.
Yep.
And Lee's been pretty consistent as well.
He had a great year.
Yeah, a very good year. Primarily been the number 2 for the Jags. He's going to find a place to play some football.
And as long as the Jacksonville Jaguars have Blake Bortles at quarterback, even if they bring in an Alex Smith at quarterback, I don't think that the Jaguars are going to be in any type of position to pay a wide receiver any type of substantial money. That's not where they are as an organization right now. So I don't see that happening at all.
Can we talk about the big dog?
Who's that?
Jarvis Landry.
Yeah, that's what I was about to get to. Probably the biggest name on the list who's making the least amount of money. Jarvis Landry, 25 years old, Miami Dolphins, only making $868,000 this year. Where's he going? Because there were rumors at the beginning of the year that he was gone, and he stayed all year long. And now what's going to happen with him?
Going to be someone that has a lot of money to spend. This dude's going to get paid. I don't know if he deserves to get close to 12 to 15 million per year, but I feel like that's what he's going to end up getting paid.
You know where he would fit perfect? The Chicago Bears, right, Tim?
I don't see how the Chicago Bears don't go out there and throw $15 million at a Jarvis Landry.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame him.
Here's $15 million for the next 3 years. Come here and be Mitchell Trubisky's safety net. I don't get how, not even that he's the best fit, but with how Detroit, you mentioned it, they would be lucky to have freaking any guy from the CFL as a wide receiver right now. Immediately address the issue. You have close, like $70+ million in cap space. Do it. You have offensive line to address. You have a wide receiver to address. Two biggest issues on this team.
Moving on to tight end, we have the big dog at the top, Jimmy Graham, 31 years old.
Is that a new thing? Did I miss the memo that we're just going to be dropping big dog?
Yeah.
I missed the memo.
Jimmy Graham at the top, 31 years old, Seattle Seahawks. What do you guys think?
What I want to see, have him team up with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Green Bay's got a new GM. They got a little bit of money to spend. They need to make a splash. This team needs to get more explosive on the offensive side of the football. They might be letting go Randy Cobb, Jordy Nelson, Devontae Adams re-sign the long-term deal. But give Aaron Rodgers Jimmy Graham. I'd love to see that.
It would really put a dent in what they're going to be able to do to fix that defense if they spent that type of money on Jimmy Graham. So I'm not sure if that would happen, but I like where your head's at. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up and if he's one of the biggest head cases in all of football. So.
Antonio Gates is number 2 on the list at 52 years old. And 37, just joking. 37 years old. I think he retires.
Yeah, he needs to hire someone to dig his grave because he's about to die.
Wow. It's like that. And Antonio Gates, one of the best to ever put on a Chargers jersey. So I will actually be sad to see one Antonio Gates retire.
Zach Miller for the Chicago Bears.
Guy,
he got 2 legs.
No, he'll want him to be able to walk. Yeah, he'll be valued at $500,000.
Trey Burton, I think this is a very interesting player, very interesting situation here. We saw what he can do when we saw Zach Ertz out, And I think even with Zach Ertz while in, he was still pretty decent. But Zach Ertz is the big target there for the tight end position for the Philadelphia Eagles. Very interesting to see where he goes or if he stays with the Eagles. But I think if he stays with the Eagles, he may get paid decently, but he's not going to be used. If he wants to play, then you're going to want to go somewhere that they're going to be able to use you. And if that's the case, and if Jimmy Graham goes away, that'd be awesome if he went to the Seattle Seahawks or another team that needs a tight end, possibly the Denver Broncos or the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I would. I also wouldn't mind seeing him go to the the Bengals. You know, Tyler Eifert, the guy we'll probably be talking about soon. It's just been a complete disappointment. Tyler Croft came on and was somewhat productive. We've seen tight ends flourish in that system, and I think Burton would be an upgrade over Croft.
I think that he's going to stay. The Eagles are a team that, while they obviously have looked great, and Carson Wentz, did a fantastic job this year, not a team with a defined running game. And with that being the case, being able to run two tight end sets where you're showing run but able to split the guys out, having the Gronkowski, Aaron Hernandez style combo.
Too soon.
No, it's not too soon. Having that type of offense, it's okay. Put as many weapons as you can around Carson Wentz. The receivers are already there. Keeping both of them, I think, it would be rather important.
Next up, we just mentioned him, Tyler Eifert for the Cincinnati Bengals, 27 years old. Really kind of injured most of his last couple of years.
I would not pay this dude anything. He's got the potential to be that 10 to 12 touchdown guy at the tight end spot, but he can't stay healthy. Even in the Pro Bowl, he gets hurt.
Yep, he will be. I have a prediction for Tyler Eifert. I think Tyler Eifert's going to take a 2-year, $8 million deal from Tennessee Titans. Go be an outlet for Marcus Mariota if he can stay healthy. They're going to move on from Delaney Walker. They're going to have that money. They're going to make money from cutting DeMarco Murray as well. Both those, Walker and Murray, are both going to be gone going into next season. So adding a Tyler Eifert, who is only 27, who has that big, if he can stay healthy, I think it would be important for one market.
I think you're wrong on that one. I think they have their Delaney Walker. They drafted him this year. Jono Smith, I think he is very capable of the tight end position, catching the ball, blocking as well. Even though blocking was not his forte, he was more of a pass catcher. But I think that's what Tyler Eifert is too. But I think Jono Smith will be the new tight end for the Tennessee Titans. Okay. I think, unfortunately for Tyler Eifert, it's kind of in no man's land right now. You may be able to go to somewhere like Dallas or something like that. I don't know if that's a landing spot for him, but you got to look at Dallas, right? Dallas has not had a great complementary wide receiver to go along with Dez Bryant besides Witten. And Witten's getting older, and they don't really have a great backup tight end. I could easily see Dallas do something like that if the cap space calls for it.
Could be.
ASJ, Austin Seferian-Jenkins, just because I want to talk about him because he's a monster in a head case for the Jets. What do you think about him? He is only 25 years old and crazy.
He's gotten his life together, though. He's more. He shaves more than once a month. He's taking care of himself. Looks like a human being. He's like 6'7", but I'd love to see him Green Bay. I brought that up earlier with Jimmy Graham, or possibly New Orleans. Coby Fleener is not the answer there. They still don't have a great tight end there. We've seen what Drew Brees can do with a big-ass tight end.
I think the Green Bay Packers learned their lesson, bringing over crazy-ass tight ends. So I don't see this happening. Actually, a guy who I'm guessing Josh is going to talk about next is who I have the Green Bay Packers going to. ASJ is it'll be like a Cleveland Browns.
Who's that? I already moved down from tight end.
Cameron Brate, I don't believe is going to obviously stick in Tampa Bay. They have O.J. Howard. I think Cameron Brate will.
Where do you see him at, Tim?
I have him at 2018 NFL free agents. Cameron Brate.
I don't see him.
At 10, he's 26. He's a restricted free agent. No, he's a restricted free agent.
I know, but he's not unrestricted.
He's still a potential free agent. I don't think that they're going to. I think that they're going to end up letting him walk. and that would be a perfect fit for the Green Bay Packers.
Hmm.
Don't be mad, Josh.
I'm not mad. I'm just going with the unrestricted. That's all. Compared to your restricted.
I'm an equal opportunity.
Moving on, offensive line. We're gonna start at left tackle. Nate Solder, 29 years old, New England Patriots. What do you guys think?
I don't think the Patriots are going to pay him. He's going to command big-time money. The state of the NFL right now in the offensive line is terrible. Almost every team has a bad offensive line. Plus, he plays left tackle. Someone's going to pay him close to $14-15 million a year.
And it's obvious they're going to have to find a way to make it work. But you've mentioned this team before. The Seattle Seahawks should be finding a way to pony up whatever it's going to take.
There's no way they'll be able to afford that.
Solder.
And
They have to find a way.
Got $19 million cap right now.
They have to do something to be able to get. They have to. They have to. That offensive line is just atrocious.
It's terrible. I don't think blowing your load on one player, man, is the way to go for them. They already got Dwayne Brown, invested 2 draft picks into him. I just don't think they're going to be doing that. It hasn't been their MO, and I don't think they're going to start.
Yeah, I mean, we can all agree that the Seahawks desperately need
Yes, sir.
desperately.
Yep.
But that would be commanding a lot of dollars that I don't know if Seattle can afford to spend.
We'll see.
If they don't, maybe I could see it happening, but
They're definitely not.
that's it's a lot of money. Greg Robinson, offensive tackle, left tackle for the Detroit Lions, 25 years old. He's averaging $5 million, a little bit more than that. Where do you guys think he's going to go?
Somewhere. He's been a big-time disappointment. The Rams drafted him originally at number 2 in the draft and been a complete bust. And Lions brought him in when Taylor Decker went down, and he was terrible for Detroit as well. He'll be a backup somewhere.
Yeah, I don't even have a landing spot because I don't think he's that good. I don't think he should really. I mean, he's only in the league because the offensive line is so atrocious right now, league-wide.
Like, he might be an upgrade for the Bucks, Colts, and Bears somewhere across the line, possibly.
Chris Clark, 32 years old, Houston Texans, making $3 million this year.
Same.
Yeah, even worse.
And a lot of these tackles, there's not much that's great. Soldier's going to be the big-time winner, and not much else in my
Especially when
opinion.
there's some talent in the draft in
Yeah.
terms of tackle this year. That you have 3 or 4 guys who could be immediate starters. Who you're going to take that risk over any of these guys.
Agreed. Is there anything else with the offensive line since it's getting kind of bare, I guess?
Andrew Norwell, he's a left guard for the Carolina Panthers. He'll probably end up getting paid similar to Zeitler last year, probably $12 to $14 million for a guard, but dude's worth it. He's undrafted free agent when he came into the NFL, 26 years old, but all-pro this year. Has been back-to-back Pro Bowls, I believe, and did not allow a sack this year. He is going to get paid. Expect the 49ers and Colts to be in on this dude. Both those teams have over $80 million, and they need to upgrade their offensive line.
Former top pick Luke Jokel, guard, only 26 years old.
He's bad, too.
Yeah.
It's not good.
I don't know what you do with him from here on out, though. Former top pick, making $8 million right now. It's kind of tough. You see how bad Seattle's offensive line has been the last couple of years, and seeing how bad it was this year. It's kind of tough to pay somebody X amount of dollars for that production.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he makes somewhere similar to that. Same with Jonathan Cooper. He was a disappointment, originally drafted by the Cardinals in the top 10 as a guard. Doesn't happen too often. Dallas brought him in, and he played pretty good last year. But that you got to remember, that offensive line that he was playing around was also filled with tons of Pro Bowlers. He's probably not going to end up getting that, but he'll end up getting a decent contract this year.
Yeah, it's. I don't like. Honestly, I don't want to pay it. I mean, the Bears are desperate for these guys, right? Desperate. But any of them that they sign outside of Solder, I'd be like, okay, more of what we have right now. No reliability. Their film just is laced with blown blocking assignments. I'm just not a fan.
Anything else?
Something that's kind of interesting: the Patriots' right tackle as well, Cameron Fleming, is also a free agent. So there's a chance they will need to find 2 new tackles. I imagine they'll re-sign one of them though.
Well, it's pretty funny that there's a chance that they'll lose both tackles, their offensive coordinator, their defensive coordinator, their head coach. Patriots might be in a rebuild. Tom Brady might retire, guys.
And they'll still probably win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, probably.
Thanks for Eric Eckerfield. He's listening and watching the video. Tim, you responded to him.
That's Ryan Eckerfield.
Or Ryan, sorry. What did I say, Tim?
You said Eric.
Eric.
Are you drunk? Ryan, my apologies.
Ryan, my
for
bad.
this guy.
Apologize. I'm
Jeez,
sorry.
Ryan,
I'm sorry.
You can't even read the God blessed name.
All right. Anything else for the offensive side of the ball? I think we nailed everything, right?
I think so.
There's a few other guys. Adam Geddes. I think you guys both know who he is.
I know Adam Geddes.
He's
Yeah.
a free agent.
Went to high school with us.
Yeah.
Graduated a year or after I did.
Hopefully he gets a job.
What team is he on right now? He got drafted by the Redskins, and then
I thought
where'd
he
he
was on
go?
the Bucks.
Is he?
Oh, poor bastard.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, that's right.
Having a block for that finger-licking moron.
He's been a journeyman in the NFL, though, making good money.
Hell yeah. I wish I was a journeyman in the NFL.
If your team needs offensive linemen, this group, the free agents, it's a lot better at guard than at tackle.
Sure.
But it's a decent offensive tackle class in the NFL. More right tackles for sure, but there'll be a lot of offensive linemen going in the first round in my eyes.
Where do you guys stand on DJ Fluker?
I hope he never plays ever again. He's awful.
Yeah, in all honesty, I hope. Hopefully, he gets signed by the Texans and gets Deshaun Watson killed.
Wow.
Wow. What's with the hair on Watson?
Got root against my division rivals.
I mean, that's pretty extreme.
Not
though.
killed, but like.
But that's what you said.
Tear
You
his
said that
ACL.
you hope he died. He already did
Yeah,
that.
only Thursday.
He's already done it twice, so we
I
know.
mean, it's not even freaking mid-January yet, and you're already hoping for the
Unbelievable.
death of the guy who just had his ACL repaired.
Keep it at 100.
All right, Tim. Tell everybody one more time about the jersey before we take off.
Everyone, make sure to go on Facebook and check out our page, Pony Keg Sports. They're right pinned on top of the page is our post with the signed Le'Veon Bell jersey that you see right here. We have a certificate of authenticity. All you have to do is go on our page, like Pony Keg Sports, and then you go to that post that's pinned at the top. You share the post, and you are automatically entered for a chance to win this signed Le'Veon Bell jersey. We are giving it away the week of the Super Bowl, that Tuesday. We will be going live at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's 5 Pacific, and picking a name for who gets to win the Le'Veon Bell jersey. Whoever wins it, we can ship it to you, send it UPS, whatever you want, bubble wrapped, whatever you want, or you can even come in, pull up a chair right here next to Joshua. You will take off your shirt, take off your pants, iron them, and then just dress you in your brand new signed Le'Veon Bell jersey. Make sure to do it whenever you can. Steelers are playing this weekend. No better time like the present.
All right, we are done with today. And again, you guys can always follow us on Twitter at PonyKeg Sports, at Fight Talk Tim, at
Pony underscore Tom something.
No, Pony underscore Keg
Oh, yeah, you
underscore Tom.
Whatever.
You need to change it so you can at least remember.
Fight Tom. Fight.
Fight Talk Tom.
you guys can always go to our website, ponykegsports.com. Email us, ponykegsports@gmail.com. Again, ask us any of your fantasy football questions, any football questions at all in general. And if you guys have not done so on Facebook, we do have a video that we just did, which is going to be us talking about the NFL playoffs, wild card recap, and the divisional round preview. Also talking a little bit of college football with the Alabama and the great Georgia Bulldog game that went on.
Roll Tide.
And yeah, so be on the lookout for the next couple episodes that we got going on. And until next time, we'll see you.
Peace! Yeah, why don't you just go freaking dress some more naked men?
Fuck you, Tim.
Freaking Eric Eckerfield. We have fucking one fan. You can't even get his goddamn name right. Freaking
That was
douche
good one
canoe.
person watching.